Guru team, welcome back to Alessandria. Right, let's have a look. A few things have changed. Not a lot down in Risso. We were getting quite a lot of people at, I think, this bus stop, one of the other bus stops. Yeah, the Rizzo Civitella bus stop was getting a little bit overloaded, so we added in a little bit of extra transport. So otherwise, they seem to be doing okay. We're nearly full capacity for bricks, which is great. Um, we're not really producing much more bricks, and we're not really carrying much more bricks. How much have we got here? 4, and he's just wandered off with 14. And here's the next guy coming along. So by the time he gets over there, there'll be slightly less than 14. So that's fine. We're not really. Could we make any more bricks? Yeah, we definitely could. We could definitely double up this line. This guy is only pulling, well, he's pulling 108. So it looks like this business is benefiting from growth. So you can see production is up, transport is up. So he's moved on to level 2. So if we want to get him to grow, we're going to need to add in a new line. Then we can get some more bricks. And that, to me, seems like a great idea. So that's something we can get working on for Rizzo over there. In terms of transport connections, looking very good, plus 70%, which is not too bad at all. And they're not really worried about anything. They're a little bit unhappy about emissions, which just is what it is. So if we go over here to Civitella, we're getting quite a lot of people lining up here. This is the Rizzo Civitella bus. Like I said, I've added in some more buses. It looks like that's a Santa C bus. This is a Rizzo bus coming in. It's full. I don't see any buses going out. This is a bus going out. Yeah, he was full, so I've got a little bit of a delay. There's some buses coming. We'll keep an eye on that one. We're not supplying Civitella with anything, but it does like its connections to the outside world, which is jolly good. It does seem to be growing a bit. It does seem to be expanding, driven by the transport connection. So I think that's all working quite well. If we have a look over here at Santa Caesarea, a couple of things have changed. So you can see that they're now getting fuel. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And they're also got some good destination. So that's good. And they're not super happy about the missions, but they are definitely growing. And obviously they have an airport, which we'll have a look at the airline in a minute. So Santa Caesarea is looking, I don't mind saying, kind of busy. I've already put an extra bus on the counterclockwise north. It looks like it might benefit from at least another one, which is pretty good. And so we did a little bit of tinkering around. So just doing a little bit of detailing and just practicing a few things. So this was a bit clunky. There was a bit of clunky landscaping going on. Don't worry about this thing. This thing's here temporarily. So there was a bit of clunky landscaping going on, and because I've now added a line up here to this fuel line, I needed to move my cargo. But the way this asset is placed in the map was a bit of an issue in terms of making some fairly janky connections with the road and things. It was like some horrible steep walls that I couldn't smooth out. So I had to do a little bit of jiggery pokery, and I had to move the road out, and I had to move this transport from, it was over here, if you recall, it's now over here. And this now collects the port alcohol for this place, and also the fuel which arrives here. So this fuels both of those. You can see we've got fuel supply and we got booze, and they're set to different platforms. So if you don't know, there's I think which one is which. Fuel supply. This is platform 1 and this is platform 2. So I've got one dropping off and one picking up. So they don't get in each other's way, because you can't change the size of the entrance to this as far as I know. If we were to say do that, and we were to say do that, yeah, it'll let me change the road, but it won't let me change the entrance to here. So this entrance is somewhat fixed. So if you don't want the vehicles to bump into each other, you can set it, one drops off, one picks up. Same with all platforms really. So that's fine. And then after that, and after I did that, I thought I'd have a little play around with some of the landscaping tools. So added in a few different kinds of trees. There's trees that are on the asset, that's these, and these are the trees that are outside the asset. Trying to keep them in keeping with the natural trees. These are a little bit bigger, which is fine because it's kind of, it screens the. This is a cargo station anyway, but it screens the station from the facility. And then some of the other trees that you see growing around and growing actually in the facility, so it doesn't look too out of place. I can't put things here, can't put things directly on it. This lumpy bumpiness, this comes with the facility, so I didn't put this here. It comes here, so I don't know. I don't know what the story with this lumpy bumpiness is, but yeah, the pond is obviously part of the facility. So you get a little bit of like this stuff here. I don't know what's causing that or why, but I can't change that. And then what I thought was, well, you know what? Maybe this owner, wants to make a bit of a thing of this place. So there's a whole load of these tall, I think they're birches. Um, that line the side of the road out this way, heading out towards the cargo port. I stopped short of doing it all the way to the cargo port, but I absolutely could put it all the way to the cargo port. It's not a problem. So yeah, so just a bit of detailing around some of these things that are valuable industries. Industries used to be the pride and joy of things, not the nasty, horrible, polluting things that they are nowadays. So yeah, people used to make a fuss of them and deck them out and put fancy gates and things on them. So anyway, so that's something we can do. We can mess around with some detailing for some of these industries that we know are going to stay around for a while. Like we could detail down the port as well. This looks just yeah, there's not a lot happening there, is there? We could do something about that. So anyway, that's what I've been messing around with. This was a short connection, so just a short connection here. I did have to triple line this. I had a thought about what I would do, but at the end of the day, when all said and done, it's a game of two halves. No, I decided it would probably be better to keep this triple lined because we wanted this fuel line to be dedicated. So I didn't want it to get all janky and end up with bottlenecks here, and then I would have had to cross over and cross back, and it was just going to get messy. So it was easier to just do this, and this is a crossover here, so it crosses over and immediately crosses through the points. He actually passes through on this side usually, and then crosses back over again. So this just added a little bit of something extra here, and it didn't cost me a fantastic amount of money to do that. What I can tell you is this is very, very slow at the minute. So there's like 5, and the little wagon, which is here, as you can see, is very small. He's only carrying 24 maximum. He'll get bigger. So how this works out, I believe, with the expanded industry mod, is that not there, this guy, is that he's got 93 stored. He consumes 100. His production can be 100, but the issue is he's only level 1. So until we have shipped enough and until our transport numbers are up enough, he won't go up a level. When he goes up a level, he will change his production and he will become more productive, just exactly like our bricks down here. So you see that our bricks is now producing 200. He also used to produce 100. So if we can supply them with enough for our product and we can ship enough for our product, they will go up a level. So that is what we want to do. That is what we want to do. So it's just started. It's a tiny little line. It's working. These guys who have now been running for a while, you can see that even this production isn't massive. They're still on level 1. We're shipping everything. There's nothing left behind. I mean, when this guy comes through, he's going to pick it up, and they're all shipping. So this guy he's going to pick up 108. So there's already nearly 108 going to be there. So we could almost add in another delivery train, which is fine, and we might just do that. Oh, a new boxcar has become available. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So the fuel line is now fully active, and we need to start growing it and building it because Santa Caesarea is not the only one that wants fuel. Civitella also wants fuel. Uzano is getting fuel from something else. We'll go have a look at that in a minute. So we want to keep on growing that business. So over at Castle Vecchio, you can see here that we're doing pretty well. We haven't got any tools supplied, but their outside connections are pretty good. They do like the road links, although I think they would like more. I'm not really sure what that means or how we do that. I think all of these roads are pretty good. We might have a look at what speed the internal roads are at, because that might change how people want to drive around in the city. So they're doing okay. All of their bus links seem to be fine. The outer counterclockwise link doesn't seem to be doing so well. There's like 4 people there, but I think the counterclockwise link on the outside isn't quite so popular. So that's interesting. That's the only one of all of my routes that seems to be kind of overpopulated. If we have a look at that, the Castle Vecchio, there's only 2 buses, and they're not big buses. They're small buses. So that's interesting. So that outer loop isn't something that's profitable. So I think this kind of inside loop, outside loop, that's not a profitable mechanism for public transport. It doesn't seem. So I think what I will do is there are other transport links that seem to be working well. This is a relatively gridded city. So what we might have to do is we might have to go back and do like an up and down loot. Ooh, make you seasick doing that. And because it's not quite big enough yet to worry about too many routes. So what we might do is we might go back and we might readjust that route. Who put this road here? This is not the kind of road that I want to see in my city. What we want to see is we want to see nice ordered roads that don't go to weird. Oh, I see. Sorry, I think I did that. I think I did that. So it's done a wonky kind of an angle, which didn't make any sense. That's the 90. So let's put that in there. That makes a little bit more sense than what we did have, which is, it is what it is. So yeah, so all right, that's Castle Vecchio, and they're doing okay for everything except emissions. So we've got this little commuter here, and there's only one person there, but that's just because the train has left, carrying 13, and this is carrying 20. So this seems to be doing okay. There seems to be more of a flow from Uzano this way than from Castle Vecchio, but this is a bigger place, so that might be the reason for that. So there's a bigger population wanting to travel. So in terms of money making, that's making 296. The line itself, let's have a look at the line. It's the Castle Vecchio Uzano commuter. It's making 618,000, which is not super, but it's not the end of the world. So it's making a bit of money, and that's fine. And I think the other one is the Castle Vecchio to Uzano. It must be Uzano Castle Vecchio the other way around. Uzano Castle Vecchio bus line is still making me 427,000. Not fully laden with people. So that's interesting. So we might have a little bit of an excess of vehicles on there. So is the train pulling away from the buses? It could be, maybe, something to keep an eye on. Anyway, and we go finally around the clock to Uzano, and Uzano is doing okay. Like I said, they're getting some fuel, not nearly as much as they would like. That's fine. There's a couple of little wagons here. We have, how much do we have? We have 11 stored, and our little truck carries, how much does he carry? He carries 16, so by the time he gets there, he'll be nearly full. The oil sands is, what are we at the minute? We are at 44. We are trying to ship as much as we can, but it's I think it's just a numbers game. You've got to ship it for a certain amount of time because he's got the capacity to carry 84, but there will never be 84 here when he gets here. I think there's like between 72 and 84, so there's more than enough. But when we have shipped enough, hopefully we will go up a level because we are transporting 100% of 100% of what we've got. So that's the current situation. Where we are with the lines, a bit of tweaking. Like we said, we could tweak the stone. I still haven't. We still have like an excess of silver. He's just left carrying 108. And to be honest, I've kind of been letting this just sit for a while, but we could add in a small train. We have 109 million, and this will make us more money. We know it will make us more money. We don't have a supply for this yet. There's nowhere that wants silver. The only guy that wants silver is like way up here. And that's a long journey. I'm not sure that that's fundamentally worth it. So we're not going to worry about that. And the bricks line we talked about. Oh, our boat line. We haven't talked about our boat line. So here's our little boats. And this guy is heading up. He's fully laden. He's showing red because he's in a cost phase, not a profit phase. He's showing 1.7 million. So when they do get up there, that is fine. We still have, as you can see here, an awful lot of stuff. And we got these two little trucks, which is fine. They seem to be doing okay. This is getting neither too full or too empty, which is perfect, and it's supplying this with everything it needs. So the issue here is finishing this chain, and for which we would need red meat, which we don't have just yet. So that's all working. There is still nothing good on the boat front. This is now 77. By the time that boat gets down, it'll be 135 or something like that. So that's fine. The 230s are doing enough. In terms of what we can buy, there's nothing good. The only stuff that came in that was small was this thing, the Votrans towboat. Now he'll carry 175, which is more than my 130, but he does it slower. So I'm kind of thinking this is 32, which is 5 kilometers faster than 27, and I've got two of them, so two of them in effect are 10 kilometers quicker. Um, that's just, and that's 175. I'm not sure that this is a better move. This to me seems like a bit of a downgrade kind of a move. And these are large, so I can't use those. So I'm not doing anything with the boats. Something I'm sure will come along at some point that enables this to be profitable. I mean, I suppose I did say that the silver is up here. There's no, yeah, I mean, because this is dropping off really close. That's not really close. So that would be problematic in terms of silver and steel and whatnot. So there you go. That's the only one I know about. Coffee, we're working on. It seems to be, I've just added a third train. What's that? 46. Who's coming in? Is this the little guy? The little guy is coming in. I think he's just on the way back, isn't he? Well, in fact, he hasn't picked up before because he still thinks he's picking up something like plastic. So he's picked up, well, he's picking up the full 60. So we'll keep an eye on that because the other train over here is on the way back. And in fact, I think I could arguably just, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop him because I think he was too close to that other train. And we're trying to even this out in thirds. So I'm trying to do this all in my head, which is about as much fun as it gets there. So I think that means there should be enough gap between him and when the next one gets in. Let's have a look, because the first guy was about here when we were down there. So it's close. It's going to be very, very close. Let's just have a look. How much is in here now? Not 108. 46. So I might need to readjust. So when you add in a train, obviously you potentially need to shorten some of the existing trains. So that looks like, it looks like the timing's about right. So this guy probably could have done with being a 60, and we need to wait for the other one to come back to see what that looks like. The coffee supply side of things, this guy has just loaded up. Oh, no, he hasn't loaded up with anything. There's been nothing. What happened? Why have we got no supply? Is that... has this guy not been supplying? Why is he not supplying? Why is this... What has happened here? Surely this is manufacturing stuff. Oh, have I broken my supply chain somewhere along the line with this thing? Shouldn't have. This should... Does this not supply that place? I'm pretty sure it does, doesn't it? They have no coffee. Oh my gosh. I have totally dropped the ball on this
Game
one.
over, people.
And I
You're
assumed
all
this
fired.
was working.
Go on, get out of here.
This, I haven't supplied this with any coffee. I've been running a train over here for this whole length of time, and I haven't been supplying this thing with anything at all in relation to coffee. So that's a major error on my part. Right, how do we fix this error? Because this guy obviously, I thought this guy was supplying him, but he's obviously not. That must be, what is that? 1941? It must be, because I haven't. Maybe I have. Yeah, I don't know what the story with this is. Maybe I broke it. I can't believe that I didn't check that it was supplying stuff. So how are we going to fix this simply? So I think the simple fix for now is if we get this little stop here, we know that they'll go to the end and flip around and whatnot. So we can put that there. We can put a line in here, and we can have him pick up and go there. And at Santa Caesarea, we can have him pick up from. Yeah, that makes sense as a pickup. But what he's going to pick up is he's going to pick up coffee. Boom. And when he goes to the other place, he's just going to unload coffee. And that will go straight into the shop. And that will be, let's call that coffee station supply. Right? And we need a couple of trucks to do that. Actually, we probably need just one truck to do that. We're down here at the bottom. We're using the Mack trucks at the minute, so we'll buy one of those, and that will be a coffee station supply. Right, okay. Blimey, I didn't realize all this time. Is it now we got coffee being manufactured. I don't think it was all this time. I'm pretty sure that I've had coffee being manufactured before, and that's just a bit of a mess on my part. That's the coffee guy. So he'll go down, he'll pick up. We've got fuel being picked up at the minute. What we might have to do is we might have to expand this with some cargo space. Now we can expand it out this way. We can make another terminal. That might be an idea. It takes it a bit close to the train track, or we can do it this way. So what we might do is we'll do it this way, and then when we get in, you have a look at, you can configure where you, so coffee station supply. So what we'll do is we'll move that down to 3. So we've got three cargo stations. And basically what will happen is they'll sort themselves out. So the fuel supply is coming in on terminal 1. That's where the fuel currently stands. Terminal 2 is the central one, and Terminal 3 is the far left one. And we can keep an eye on those things. And we'll just do a little bit of smoothing around just to make sure that everything looks hunky-dory. Right? And we've now got that working, and I can keep an eye on the different levels. Pardon me, on the different platforms. We've got those 3 platforms working. Honest to goodness, the things you never notice. And the fish is, I think, doing fine. There's like 35 there, and this guy is shifting how much? 72, which is great. So, oh yeah, and the last thing is our airports. Now look at this. This is starting to chalk up. 43 people now. 43 people. Apparently they just all hang out on the tarmac. Just don't know. So yeah, so apparently they all just hang out in the tarmac. So that's 43. So where are our planes? There's a plane over here. He's coming back, and he is coming back fully laden. And there is a plane. Where are you, plane? There you are, over here. He is also fully laden. So, and this has how many people? 54. So this is turning out to not be too bad. It took a while. I'm not gonna lie. It took a while. If we have a look at the lines, it is the, what is it? Is it the Usano Fantasy Air? Yeah, so it's 177,000, which is not making a bucket, but those 2 planes have to land. So let's see what happens when those 2 planes have to land. He's landing here, and then he's going to discharge his passengers, and then we'll get a boost in numbers, because that's when the value of the cargo is realized, when the cargo is safely delivered. Dum 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 dum. There you go. That was about 170 from him, and the other plane is discharging, and about the same. So they're making about 170,000 a trip. So we're obviously short. We obviously need bigger planes. So we have this plane here. Is this guy unloaded? Let's see if we can catch him before he takes off. No. He's already full. So if we wanted to make these both bigger, which we can do, we can go down here. We've been rocking with this guy, which carries 10. We could do more than that. We could do that, which carries 15, and I think that's it. So we could upgrade our DC3s to a couple of DC4s, and we could probably even do with another one. So if we bought those 2.7 million, and this is already, which airport has the most amount of people? This one has 44, and this one has more, I think. No, 47, and this plane isn't full yet. So he's going to take another 5, right? So this is 42. So it's much of a muchness in terms of the same. But the issue that we have is that when you buy the plane, it doesn't normally stop at the first place, but let's have a look. Let's buy another one. And we're going to put him on that one. Let's see if he pulls out. I think with planes it might be slightly different. I think he might pull out and pull straight in again. He does. Excellent. So he's going to pick up people as well. That's another... so that leaves another 27. And I reckon we could actually just buy another one. Right. So there we go. So we're pushing it a little, but there you go. So we've now got 4 planes. So it turns out that this as a commuting, well, not a commuting. This is an uh, as an airline might be fine. I might be pushing it because that's now, well, 12, and there's a plane coming in. Whoa, dude! Do you not think that that's a bit low? Holy cows! Um, do you have to fly like that? I mean, I guess maybe you do, but yeah, okay. I mean, like I said, we're watching it at like this is kind of like what I think is probably normal speed. That's a bit close. God, these guys, man, these are absolute sky jockeys. What the heck is going on? Right. And it's probably the biggest plane we want at this small airport, judging from how close it is. Your guys' wingtips are gonna like. Honestly the FAA. Right. So that's fine. He's bringing in. He's dropping off. There's going to be more than enough people for him. When he lands. This guy's also dropping off, and there's going to be more than enough people for him. So this looks to be relatively popular as a route, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good because now that we've got that, we can look at maybe chucking a small airport in for Rizzo, who's gotten a little bit bigger but still feels a little bit disconnected. So really, it's just poor old Civitella that's feeling small. Um, so there you go. Yeah, blimey, that was scary. Still, I've waffled on for an awful lot of this of what is going to be this episode. So it turns out, and I guess because of um, well, I was going to say Civitella might be a bit of a problem child. Yeah, let's leave Civitella for now. So it turns out that there's a wealthy investor in Uzano. As you can see, he's been developing some property, and he's developed himself a few skyscrapers in downtown Uzano, and he's had a conversation with the mayor and the town committee of Uzano, and he said, you know what, he is going to stump up for a big farm outside the city, because he realizes that Uzano is running short of food, and it could really do with some food production to get along with. So he has bought some land just outside the airport, which can't really be used for anything else because of flight restrictions, but can certainly be used for industry. And he wants to put an industry here, and he wants to be able to connect this industry to the burgeoning rail network, and he'll help cover some of the costs of the rail network connection here and here, and also the connection up here to the plant. So he's gonna supply this thing, and he's decided that this is probably the place to put it. So he's going to put this down here. Maybe even we put it down here where it's near to this existing road network, and it's a little bit further down. So we'll put it a little bit down here, which is near to the existing road network, and boom, there you go. We're going to tie that in to the existing road network for him, and we're going to work together to tie it into the existing rail network that's over here, and that's going to help create some opportunities for this place to employ some people. Look at this, we're going to have to do some terrain work, and ultimately supply the town with some much needed food products. We already have a cargo area here. Not sure if it's enough to capture the. Yeah, we might have to establish a new cargo hub out here, which can collect fuel and food from the cargo station, and supply that into the city. So that's what's happening down here. We've got this lovely new farm up and running. At the minute, it's not producing anything, but eventually it will produce something, and we'll tie that in. So there you go. So that will help Uzano, and I'll get that underway shortly, and you can watch that being tied in. I'll see you in a minute. Well, hello again. Oh, my gosh, but aren't bridges a significant pain, as you have seen? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, trying to get bridges. I gotta work on that. I gotta work on that. But hey, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this farm. I detailed this in. What do you think? Does it look good? Doesn't it look good? If you have a look at the natural farm asset, so if you're doing any detailing like this, have a look at the existing assets. So this is like a bunch of different crops, and they've even managed to get moo cows wandering around in there, or at least standing there swishing their tails. They did all their fencing. I'm not doing fencing. I'm not doing fencing. But yeah, have a look at the tree assets that they use and how they put them together. So that it doesn't look so out of place. So I put the field assets in. I'll show you where everything else is, and I probably need to tidy up, but I haven't finished tidying up. So anyway, this is the kind of thing you need to do after you've done it. Is you have to go through and clear everything up, because obviously, there wouldn't be a functional field if it had great big rocks sitting in it. And this is just a monocrop farm, which is fine. That's fine. It's okay to have a big farm that's just got one crop in it. So anyway, I need to tidy up some of those things, but you can mess around. You can plant. It's got wheat growing in the middle of the tracks. I don't know if I'd be keen on harvesting that myself, but there you go. We've got two different types of tracks here. I need to amend that. I've gone for the high speed tracks just to see if it makes a difference, and I'll explain why when we have a look at what's here. But we've got this station. We built this farm thanks to our investor, our property investor from the city of or the town of Uzano. It's a big town now. So he's built this lovely, lovely place here, and he put in a new road, and we've got this thing, and he worked together with the local council to fund a railway, and so on and so forth. So we've pulled this all in. We had to do a bit of jiggery pokery. We put in this lovely line which connects through the back of the refinery, which we haven't done anything yet, but we will get around to doing something with at some point. And then this brings us in here to this lovely station. So it was just passenger on both sides, as I'm sure you remember. So it's not that busy. Currently, this train is picking up one person. 19. So it picked up 19 people. You can see it's not super busy. So that's fine. So we swapped out the other side for cargo. And we put the cargo depot here at the back. So we're dropping off food here. You can see we've got lots of lovely produce. We've got the Uzanu food supply truck, and it looks like we're going to need to. Well, we've got two of them, but it looks like we're probably going to need to clone that one. So we'll try three, because we have. How much do we have? He's got 16, and there's already 28 sitting there. I don't know where my other truck is. Where's my other truck? Where's he going? Oh yeah, I'll explain this in a minute. So he's just dropped off. He still thinks he's logged, so he's still starting. So yeah, so look, we did this, and we detailed this. I did this, and I detailed this all out. So now it looks like an asset. It looks like a thing. So we have this road. So I went around, I planted each of the individual trees. So you have to, if you want to do anything organized, if you want to do higgledy-piggledy, random forest, that's great. You can just do the brush size. But if you want to place things and make them look organized, and not too organized, there's a little bit of chaos in here, then you need to plant them individually. That's fine. Try and get different heights, so you can see there's a variety of different heights, that kind of thing. So following the order of things, this was just a random tree I just left there, which is fine. Went around, slightly more organized, and some bush frontage along the roadside where we've got the station. We put in a hydrant, we put in a couple of bins, we've got some lovely people. Where's he going? He's tired. He's going somewhere commercially, and they're going commercially. They're going to a residence, and there are a lot of people going to work, it seems like. Commuters? Interesting. It's great that I called. Everyone's tired. What's wrong with them? Anyway, so I did all that. I found this lovely thing. I'll show you where to find the assets. I put in a little fountain. It's a shame it doesn't actually fount. Oh, it does. Well, it's weird, but anyway, I suppose I'm doing it. Let's do it at normal speed. How does it look? Like Old Faithful. It looks a little bit weird. But yeah, so put in the fountain, couple of rocks. Benches, I'm put some outdoor benches. These don't come in. Put in a fence. put in a ticket kiosk, which is over here, fire hydrant, various other bits and pieces. So this now looks like a bit of a thing, which is great. So we've now got passengers at one end, and we have some person waiting, and we have a busload of people dropping off. So they're going to come in and do a little turnaround with this bus, which is just going to run into that person, and they're going to drop those people off, and they're all heading off somewhere. Where are you going, I wonder, you lady? An industrial building somewhere. Okay, where's the industrial building that she's going to? Wow, she's going to an industrial building in Castelvecchio. Okay, so she is actually commuting. So there are actual commuters. That's amazing. So there you go. So that's working. I've got this lovely asset. I've got my little commuter train. Everything's hunky dory. Cargo. So food. So the whole food thing. If you have a look at where food is required, ooh, food is required in an awful big area of the town. So that's quite interesting. The other stuff you see here is mail. So these people here, they need mail. This is another expanded industry thing. I don't have anything to do with mail just yet. That is something I need to look into. Mail trucks and things, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, all of the food, there's a lot of food requirements. Now, the only real surefire way I could get that sorted was by putting a cargo depot dab in the middle of this area, and that covers everything. It's a bit big, and it takes up a bit of real estate, and I haven't done anything around it because I want to see if, like, there's a whole load of little houses, but there's other like mini tower blocks and things because we can't place housing assets. I want to see. I want to see if this populates with houses. I'm worried if I put trees down that the game won't because I've placed them. So I didn't place this tree. I can certainly delete it. But I'm kind of worried if I put an asset down here that the game will not develop properly. So it looks a bit ugly. It is what it is. That's fine. I've got my trucks, which are going to be delivering food here, and then it's going to supply all these commercial buildings. I think it is predominantly around here that want. Yeah, so it's predominantly the commercial area that wants all of the food. So that is what it is. Okay, just is what it is. Obviously now this is a thing. So we've got this now. I guess transition hub for cargo and people, and we've got everything in here, and we've got the airport out there. So Uzano's on the up and up. So I went through and I upgraded the main street. So the main street is this big wide street. This is the main street. It connects the railway station directly through to the airport, which makes a bit of sense really. And all of the other streets where there are bus stops and bus routes, I went through and put in bus lanes. It kind of doesn't matter on a two-lane street because a two-lane street is a two-lane street. But I don't know if it matters to the game. So they are two-lane streets for the time being, with bus lane markings on them. I wonder if that prevents residential traffic, just out of interest. I don't actually see any residential traffic, so I wonder if they're there. Let's just watch these cars coming in, because I wonder if by adding in those bus lanes where it's only two-lane streets, I've inadvertently stopped the traffic from being able to drive down those roads. Because there's not a lot of cars in the town, and I feel like there probably should be. This one's going this way. Yeah, you're going to commercial buildings, right? And the other one's going down Main Street. So yeah, actually that might not be the right thing to do. So I think what I will do is I'll go back to that, and I will turn the bus lane off, for all of these two-lane streets, because I'm kind of worried that I've actually inadvertently stopped regular traffic from doing what regular traffic is supposed to do. So the main drag is fine, but I think a two-lane road with bus lanes might be a problem. That would be what I would think from that little exercise. So there you go. So turn these all back. Let's see if we get any more traffic turning up, because that's bus lane. Hey. That's oh no, that was the 4 lane. That's the connector. So that's that one, which we do want 4 lane on. So that's that guy there. Right. So there we go. Does this bring back traffic? We don't have a lot of traffic actually. Um, so I don't know. He's turning up this road. So there you go. Whether that helped or didn't help, I don't really know. How's this guy flying again? Ooh, I mean, it's low. It is low. It's low over the commercial district, but you know, it happens in places. So anyway, so there you go. So there's Susanu. So we've got this lovely station, and we connected up here. So we've connected up here. This building is temporary. In fact, it can go away. We haven't done anything up here because this is more or less production. So we don't need to do anything. I took the road out of the way. It's a little bit wonky donkey, but that's fine. You can fix that. Doesn't need. I'm not currently not using it, so it doesn't really matter. We've got this, which is now producing not that much, but we're getting there. Where is my train? This train has just left carrying food, and there is another one coming back. No, that is not it. That is this one. This one is coming back, carrying an awful lot of grain. So an awful lot of grain. And how much food are you carrying? You're carrying 22 of 36. So these trains, I think I can modify down just one production. It'll take a while, as we know, for the production to catch up. So have a look at these trains. So this is the trains that I've put on. So we've got news. We've got new news, which is these things. Look at the speed, 120 kilometers an hour. So we now have faster wagons. So this is a game changer for us at this point. 1952. So came in about 1950. So we're going to have to go around, and we're going to have to spend a little bit of time and money over the next wee while replacing some of our aging fleet. This seems to be the wagon of choice for the time being, the Alco PA. It's diesel. It's got a fair amount of power, reasonable amount of tractive effort. Could be better. 227 kilonewtons. I mean, this big boy has an awful lot more than that. If you have a look at, I think this one is 228. This one's a monster. This one is also quite large, but a lot of these are quite large vehicles. So we'll carry on using the little diesel for the short routes, but where we think we can save time and money by going faster, like the oil routes, for example, the fuel routes, the longer longer traveling routes, we'll swap over to this thing because it can do 188, so it can definitely reach speeds of 120, but that means we need to start replacing the track with fast track. This is, what is this one? The PAPB. Very much bigger, a lot more attractive efforts, like a double unit kind of a thing. Don't need something quite that big. I mean, you can see from down below that the trains that I just put on cost well, originally because I've made them shorter, but originally they cost 17 million each, so they're not cheap. So I've got these two on. They're doing the double job because they have to come back this way, so they may as well drop off the food. So he's going to stop and drop off the food, and you can see that the food is loading up over here. We've got our little truck guys who are coming along to pick up the food, which is great. I don't know why he's loading up on that side. Honestly, it doesn't. I don't really care. He's loading up and taking stuff away, and the other guy is loading up and taking stuff away, which is grandiose. So there you go. That's Uzano. Uzano is on the uppity up. We've done quite a bit with work with Uzano. So this one industry being built in. In terms of the airport's going pretty good. This is the first time there's been nobody waiting. And the reason I said nobody waiting, oh, this plane is empty. That's the first time that has happened. This plane is also empty. Interesting. First time that has happened. That may be because, yeah, there's a lot of people waiting at the airport bus stop. I wonder if my fiddling around with the city inadvertently broke some of the bus links. We've got the Uzano Airport bus. That's people from the airport. So we'll keep an eye on that because these planes were all packed a little while back. But we might just have one too many planes. We have, what is that? 1, 2, 3. We have 4 planes on that network. So the Uzano Air, which is here, we've got 4 planes on the network. So four planes might be too much. Let's sell a plane. Right, we've sold a plane. That solves that problem. Yeah, well, that's it. Anyway, I've waffled on long enough. I did at the start, and then I obviously went through and I did all this and this detailing and everything else. So that's great. So we've got one industry in, and we've got it detailed, and it's working on supplying Uzano. And I need to go around and balance a few things, start looking at upgrading some of the aging fleet. In terms of the road vehicles, I don't think anything significant has changed. We still have the same fleet buses, so nothing's changed in the bus front, nothing's changed in the cargo front. We've got some interesting things happening in the train front. With regards to the actual plane front, we've really been using the Douglas DC. There's not really anything else that's really happening just yet on that front. I'm sure there will be things that come through during the 60s, I think the 70s, which was a boom era for plane production. Oh, coffee. The coffee's working. So the coffee is working. So we now have coffee here. We have that's the booze bus. We have the coffee station supply, which is now coming through and just dropping off at this little depot here. And you can see that we have some goods out the back. So this guy is now got some coffee on the go, so red meat is the only thing that we're going to be needing stuff with. But I think the next town we want to have a look at is Civitella. We need to do something about Civitella. So they've got bricks. They're seeing the benefit of fuel. They're now seeing the benefit of food. We haven't done anything with Castelvecchio, but they're seeing the benefit of passengers. Poor old Civitella is down here in the middle of nowhere. I feel kind of languishing. So we kind of need to think about what we're going to do about this place in terms of how we're going to supply it with something. And we're not making enough fuel yet. As you can see, we're still at level 1. We're transporting 49%, so we haven't quite got up to speed on that just yet. So poor old Civitella is going to need a little bit of something, and it's going to require a little bit of thought from us as to what that something ultimately is, and it's probably going to need a bit of investment in some industries to make that happen. But Civitella is going to be the next on our list. So yeah, so there you go. That's this episode. A little bit of finesse, a little bit of fancy, a little bit of detailing, and throwing some things in that maybe look a little bit different, and providing some of our stock assets with a little bit of trim so that they're starting to look a little bit special, right? Alessandria is on the uppity up. I do hope you like it. If you do, click that like. Do subscribe to the channel. Do click the bell notification so you know when the next one of these is coming out. And I will see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now.